It's about that time. What's happening in your city? You got love for your city? City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views. Oh, City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views. Oh, City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views. Oh, City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views. Oh, City Views. 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 And ladies and gentlemen, we're here for another episode of CT Views, coming at you right here from your local access Altice Channel 5.
Yes,
right
we
here
are.
in the fine city of Litchfield/Torrington. That's two cities.
We're in Litchfield County.
Yeah,
We're right on the border of Litchfield and Torrington.
We're like right on
that cusp.
Yep. Cusp.
But yeah.
So far, so good. So thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And you guys can check us out if you want to see more episodes of CT Views. Just go to our YouTube channel and under Culture for a Cause, producers of the show. Okay? So we appreciate that. And as we get the show started, we want to take this opportunity to recognize our sponsors and thank them for their support in helping us bring you quality community broadcasting each and every week right here from your local cable access Altice Channel 5. I want to give a big, huge shout out to Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite Number 1, Torrington, Connecticut. Better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-INS. The Northwest Connecticut Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120 in Torrington, Connecticut.
The Chamber is the place to be.
They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105, Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. Thank you so much to our sponsors, and we really do appreciate all your support. So, in the meantime, Coryse, we just off camera had a little discussion about this week's Super Bowl.
We did, and even though Jacque was yelling Doug's name over me talking the entire time, what I was saying is music is the universal language, and it doesn't matter if you can understand the words, what language they're singing in. Music is just meant to move you and make you feel, and I think that's why they consider it the universal language.
Of course it is.
Okay, so with that said, I thought the Super Bowl show was amazing. I did not understand all the words that was coming out of his mouth, but it moved me, and then it did transport me back to the Caribbean. The scenery, his whole production was absolutely amazing.
I agree. I'm not a big Bad Bunny fan. However, looking at the show, I thought the production value was just outstanding.
Yeah.
And, to do and to coordinate that for 13 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
That took a lot of putting together. And I have to say, I especially like at the end that they brought out all the flags of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Including Trinidad and Tobago. So,
yeah, that was pretty cool. Nice touch.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Now, I must admit, as great as the Super Bowl was in the halftime show, nothing could be finer than my co-host tonight, Coryse Villarouel. You look fantastic.
Thank you. I have my power dress on. And with my favorite colors, I got my red on,
I was thinking about wearing red tonight, but I'm going to save that for next week.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, you do that.
So we got a jam-packed show for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we do.
We have someone on the line with us right now. who we've wanted to bring on the show for quite some time, because we really want to start exploring this space for artists in the state of Connecticut. There are so many established and emerging great artists in the film and television arenas, in the performing arts arenas, in the musical arenas, and we happen to have someone with us tonight who I think you're going to find enjoyable, and this will not be her last time on the show, I can guarantee you that, okay? So without further ado, we want to introduce to you Dana Wine. Good evening, Dana.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. This is great. I am an actress, director, and a screenwriter. So that's kind of my contribution to arts.
Well, it's quite a contribution when you think about it, because there's such momentum going forward in the state of Connecticut for an arts movement that's going to be viable and sustainable. And when we're meeting people like yourselves who bring that energy to the table, along with that vision and that level of innovation that allows us to do these projects that can actually become monetized and can help us build economic development opportunities within the industry.
Yes, and I just want to also just say that I did love Bad Bunny. That was a great show.
That was a great show.
I almost teared up a little because of all the political stuff that's going on, and I won't even start that stuff because I don't want to ruin your show. But it was a beautiful thing.
I thought it was a beautiful show too. Yes, I agree with you there.
Well, the thing about it is, Dana, I think from the artist perspective, we have a deep appreciation for these projects and these events because they're so difficult to pull off. They're not easy, and they're very time consuming.
Oh, yes. I couldn't even imagine, because you're right. Just the way they set up the stage, it was amazing. It was amazing, and all the coordination. Yes, I was appreciating that. I was watching it because I do know what goes into that. I'm not in the music industry, but I know what goes into a performance, and a performance of that magnitude, that was quite impressive.
No doubt about it. Now, Dana, talk to us a little bit about your endeavors and what you're doing and what you're hoping to bring to the community of artists here in the future.
Sure. So I like to say I'm first and foremost an actress, because sometimes, as we all know, if we do multiple things, we have multiple hats, we kind of get pigeonholed into certain things. But I'm an actress, a director, and a screenwriter. And one of my bigger projects right now that's going to be released probably by April is a full feature film called Nadia's Request. And that was presented to me. It was an idea that a friend of mine had presented to me, and he said, I have this idea. Do you think you could script it? So I was able to script it, and we put it, we kind of jumped into it quickly, but we were so blessed. We had Robert Miano, who he played Sonny Red on Donnie Brasco. He was in Road Trip with Queen Latifah. He was he's done a lot of films, and he is a super, super sweet, wonderful guy. He stayed at my house, and that way we were able to bond, because he plays my father in Nadia's Request. He plays Sergei Romanov, and I'm Nadia Romanoff. So it was a great opportunity for us to really click and bond. And one of the things that we'd like to pride ourselves on with this movie is 99.9% of it was filmed in Connecticut. There was a small percentage that I think might have hit Rhode Island a little bit, because we're on the ocean. But it was mostly done in Connecticut, and we thought that was something that we wanted to try to do, because we're trying to bring, Connecticut in the film industry on the map. And so this is a movie about a Russian mafia leader who steals a truckload of drugs and undocumented citizens in a truck. So the cartel is now coming after the Russian mafia for their money. It's, because sometimes, you feel like the whole mafia thing gets played a lot. So we wanted to put a little twist on it, and I kind of feel like, sort of a modern mafia is the cartel in my view. Maybe others don't agree. So I was like, I just thought the two together would be a great combination. So, it'll be coming out in April, and we'll, certainly be having a
release party?
Yes, for sure, for sure.
And
So
where
we're excited
where
about
is it going to
that.
be
I want to
released?
get Robert back here because he's such an angel. Like, he's such a great guy. And everybody, I just felt, I cast a few people that were new actors because I always like to have an underdog or two because it's so hard to get your foot in the door and people don't want to give new people a chance.
Right.
And I think that's kind of a shame. So I had a couple new people that hadn't really acted before. One of the main ones was Erica Evans, who played a lead, and she was wonderful. She was great. So it was just so many people brought so much to the table, and the talent was great. And I'm in the middle of doing the final. I'm not editing it, but I'm doing the reviews of the edits, and it just gets better and better. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty amazing because we had pretty much, I hate to admit it, we had a no budget. I've got $25,000 of my own money into this movie, so that's how how passionate we got about it, and that's going to be released in April. So then I did a short called Bubbles. That's kind of like a thriller, and that's going to be also coming out. That one is I'm debating if I just want to kind of start putting that one right out in like maybe TikTok or possibly on YouTube, just to kind of get the momentum. I think that I have this idea that people need to know who we are first. So there's so many independent filmmakers out there. There's so many indie films, and like, how do you stand out? You've got to first be recognized. So I might want to throw a few little feeds out there first, so people are like, wow, this is good. I like this. I like the style. I like the genre. Like, and then when Nadia's request comes out, I'm hoping it really picks up a lot of momentum.
Now, where is Nadia's? Where is that going to be released?
So we haven't fully settled 100% yet where we're going to, we're going to have a release party, but in terms of distribution, I am starting to partner up. It hasn't fully been completed, but I'm partnering up. I can't speak tonight with somebody, and so we might do we might do it as a streaming option, or I might try to get distribution. So we just first want to kind of get it out there before the premiere, so that everybody who put their work into it, they can come with their families and be proud of it, and then we're just going to go. And I know we're kind of doing it a little backwards. You should probably do the distribution first. So we're going to do our best, but I'm confident it's good, and I'm confident no matter where it lands, we will be happy with it.
So Dana, we want to have you back on the show, especially as we get closer to April for the release of your next project.
That would be great. That would be really great. I would love that.
So let's do that, and stay active on my Facebook page, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, actress, writer, film director, and someone who has the best name that Coryse could ever imagine.
Yes, since I'm a wino, Dana. So, Dana,
that's my real name. That's my real. It's not a stage name.
So, Dana, cheers to you. Cheers to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we look forward to having you back, okay?
I would love it. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Bless you all.
Bye now.
Bye.
Okay, I think we already have our next caller. Let's see. Hello, you're live.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Would this be June Archer?
This is he, the one and only.
All right. So, June, We answered the call and we did not get to do an introduction. So I'm going to go ahead and do this introduction, introduce you to our audience here. We have on the line June Archer, and June Archer is an executive director. He was an executive director of a major music company. He's an author. He's also an entrepreneur. He's a philanthropist, a community leader, CEO of 1128 Entertainment Group. And you also founded 100 Men of Color and 100 Women of Color. June, welcome to our show, CT Views. How are you tonight?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I know it's cold outside, but we're going to have some really warm conversation.
Yes, we are.
We definitely appreciate having you on the show, and especially here for Black History Month. I'm really excited to hear about your story, and I'm glad Coryse got you to come on tonight.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now, I'm going to quickly tell a funny story. I have known June's brother forever. I can't even, back in my clubbing days, because he's a DJ. And never once, and I always received emails from 1128 Entertainment Group, and never once did I put the two together that they were brothers until about a month and a half ago. And I'm like, why did I know this?
Small world. It is a small world.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So tell us about your latest project, what you're doing, and how you're incorporating all your different experiences into your latest endeavor.
So my latest endeavor would be, well, let's say I wear many hats. So depending on which one you're talking about, I am diving into my own talk show, which we are in pre-production right now. But my latest is my book that came out on 2/6/26 called The Definitive Art of Networking. And that book has been something that's been in the making maybe the last 5 years, but people have been asking me to write a book on how to create and build connection and human connection. And so I finally buckled down last year and wanted to get it done by my birthday, which is 11/28, and put it out for the top of the year. So this book just really describes how I was able to be as successful in the music and entertainment business while creating these connections from, and I should say, as far back as 1984. And just bringing all those experiences, how I got the record deal, how we got to the Apollo with my group, how I was meeting all these people call them famous people. These are friends. These are, people that happen to be in the spotlight. But how I get all of this from just shaking hands and kissing babies is what.
June, I fully 100% believe in the art in networking and doing business that way. And when I saw the release of your book on Facebook, I jumped right on, and I said I have to get this, because that was always my take on how I wanted to do business. And I've been able to do that and accomplish that, and I believe in the power of networking. I think it opens more doors. Talk to us more about that.
Yeah, the thing is, sis, that we have gotten so far away from human connection due to the fact that we have social media. That's one. And in the book, we're talking about how we connect at another level, and not just sliding in somebody's DM, not posting on someone's Facebook or liking their post on Instagram or, whatever platform. It's literally how we're able to move about this beautiful world and making human connection and leading with service, leading with grace, and just seeing how we can help one another. We have more in common than we don't. And when we lead with service or trying to be of help with someone, we leave the world a better place. And that's really what the book is talking about. It even talks about how coming out of COVID and how you can, those who are gun shy to connect with people, because we were at a point where we were just in our own silos. And I talk about ways to actually get out of that, ways to, if you are an introvert, how just a few keys will allow you to, even as an introvert, connect with people. So it's very important, and I'm going to be activating a lot of, and I'm putting up air quotes, networking events, but these are human connection events.
Now, I hope you don't mind me saying this, okay? But what you stated, it sounds as if you're the brother that I never met yet. Because you identified those issues that are coming in this new environment that we're living in post-COVID, that it seems that we're being alienated for all the wrong reasons. And I think that human connection is, especially for younger generations, is something that I don't even think that they really have delved into yet. And I am so, and I don't want to, disparage you by revealing your age. However,
I'm an old man, yes.
So I'll say this, and you can correct me if I'm mistaken. But I think our generation grew up at a time where we were receiving the benefits of the sacrifices of generations before us that allowed us to reach, as Maslow's hierarchy of needs would point out, those aspirational issues to help us find our better selves. And I know in my situation, the reason why I was able to self-actualize is because there were elders in our community who actually cared about our growth and development. And when you have that type of input as a young person growing up, it has a profound impact on your value system. And now in our later years, when I go back and talk to some of my childhood friends and classmates, we don't recognize the world anymore. And it's like even their kids and the way they raise their kids, there's so many barriers that they have to teach them and show them, which were so different than what our parents taught and showed us.
They are different. However, they just happen to be spun a little different. And so let's take a short dive in. Yes, we had those individuals who poured into us, but we can be those same individuals for this next generation, which is why it's so important for this book to be in high schools, for those high school seniors who are graduating and going on to college. That human connection is what they'll need, because, believe it or not, college is great, but it's the connections that you make there that's going to be super important, right? You're going to be disciplined, hopefully enough, to get through those 4 years to get your degree, right? That's not the hard part. It's figuring out how you get along and learn from different people from different cultures, different backgrounds, makeup, etc. And then it's also for those who are graduating college and getting into the workforce or corporate America, because that is a big leap. But then you have those who are, because we're in the world that we live in now and people are losing their jobs, they're being a little creative and they're starting their own businesses. So it's for the entrepreneurs. It's for those who are starting businesses and trying to figure out, how do I get people to buy into my product or service, and where do I start?
I think you raised some great points, and in this era too, where we see more risk being taken in the small business and entrepreneurial spaces, it's important that we build community around that, because at the end of the day, you're only as strong as your network.
Absolutely, absolutely, and for that, it's a network, right? And we always hear the phrase, you build your network to increase your net worth, right?
Right.
And that's great, but you want to create an opportunity to, one, be the common denominator.
Exactly.
Right? You also want to create an opportunity where you have community. With community, now you build an ecosystem.
Right.
And when you create that, you are literally being able to serve others and allow others to serve others, and it continues, right? So if we're in our communities and we're teaching our young people, which is what the original concept of the 100 Men of Color Black Tie Gala and awards was how do we show our young people, especially our black and brown boys, what it looks like when men of color have on a tuxedo or a suit, dashiki, hard-bottom shoes, a belt around their waist because their pants are around their waist.
Exactly,
Well,
around their waist.
Okay.
What does that look like, right? So
Talk about
when you show them and you give them example, you put them in the environment, you put them in real-world situations, they learn, but they can't always learn from watching entertainment.
Right.
And what they see on television is entertainment. It's not real world. It may be based off something, right, or loosely based, but you're being entertained, right? No different than these social media platforms, right? We're trying to pass this bill and have this thing about holding these platforms responsible, but they shouldn't be held responsible. We have to police ourselves because it's only entertainment. If it is too much for you, then you should not have. Just think about the steps that you have to take in order to actually have that on your phone, because these phones don't come with these things on them. So one, you have to download it. Two, you have to upload your information, right? You have to go out and you have to make friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. So if you go through all of those steps yourself, that's not the responsibility of them to say that they are making it too accessible or they're making it addictive. You can stop at any time.
Right.
So we have to teach each other the tools to stop. But I think the tool is how do we put them away and build human connection, which is why this book and others like it are important, because you're trying to connect to something on these social media platforms, right? But if you have an event that is activated, like 100 Men of Color Gala, 100 Women of Color Gala, the 100 Young Men of Color Awards, or Hot Chocolate Soul, or Celebration of Life, all these things that I do, we have places and spaces to create human connection.
Right.
So we need to do more of it. And when people say, oh, June, someone's doing 100 this, and they're doing 100 that, and you came up with this, I'm like, it doesn't matter.
They're not
doing
matter.
what
Yes.
I'm doing. I just want people to have more things to do that we can go out and have human connection. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
It's my responsibility to do what I do to inspire and motivate other people to create other things that give us things to do that hopefully we could put the phone down for one moment. I was at a dinner the other day with some young people, and they call it the phone tree or something. And they sit down at the table, and they put their phones on top of each other.
Oh.
And they leave it there on the table, and they have conversation.
And they connect. Yes.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah,
and
that is
we all
amazing.
did that more often, or put it in a basket. I think that the part of it was, well, if you have an iPhone, you could probably, if you put it on top of another one, you exchange information. So they did it creatively where that didn't happen.
Okay.
But I thought it was amazing. And these are teenagers. So we can show them the way. We can inspire them.
Yeah.
We just have to give them things to do.
Right. And here's what I totally believe, and I take away from everything that you're saying, is that there is enough room for us all. Like, we don't have to compete with one another. You can feel free to share information about someone else that you've met. It's not a competition. It's enough space out there for us all to be able to live and connect with one another and exchange and share someone that you know with someone else.
Absolutely.
You know, I must tell you, I think that you're well suited for your talk show. And
I appreciate you.
June, we have to have you in studio, in person, one of these days.
Absolutely. And I do apologize. I'm moving around. We've been, rehearsing, so I get excited to do what I do in terms of the talk show. I'm also promoting the book, and so I've been put in so many different directions that not sitting still over the next couple of weeks, couple of months. But I promise you I will get there in person in front of you. We will make the magic happen. And I'm so appreciative of you both just allowing me this opportunity and still taking the time to sit down and have some really great conversation.
Well, we can't wait. We love the human connection, and you definitely connected with us tonight on CT Views. Thanks for coming in.
I appreciate you. Thank you both. Enjoy. And if anybody's interested in the book or the books, they can go right to IamJuneArcher.com. Everything is there, from the podcast to the events to the books. So tap in, follow me on Instagram at June Archer, and always giving inspiration and always figuring out how we can inspire and motivate as many as we can. And I thank you so much again, and I thank you for the listeners and those who are viewing. Thank you so much for tuning in.
All right. Speak to you soon, June.
You got it. Have a great one.
Bye now.
So we want to take this time at the bottom of the hour to recognize our sponsors. Want to give a huge shout out to Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite number 1, Torrington, Connecticut. You better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local.health-ins. Also, the Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120, Torrington, Connecticut. The Chamber is the place to be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105 in Torrington, Connecticut, pediatric care for over 50 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. So as we roll on with the show, I think we got another call in, don't we?
We do. We have guest after guest on the line for you today. And we are on with our next guest. Hello, welcome to CT Views. Who are we speaking with?
This is Joanne Ryan.
Hi, Joanne. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am good, thanks. I'm good.
Joanne, thanks for
How's
calling
my
in.
friend Jacque?
Thanks for calling into the show. We appreciate you, Joanne.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
And now I've been hearing rumors that since your retirement, you have not stopped one bit.
She hasn't slowed down, huh?
You've been going 24/7 ever since.
Well,
So
not quite, but I must say, I retired at the end of June after 25 years plus with the Chamber, and decided just to relax. So July was, some vacation time, the Cape Cod, Narragansett for a quick trip, visiting family, all kinds of fun things. But, it got to be August, and I said, okay, this is not going to work. I can't afford visiting people everywhere. Plus, it gets a little boring when you're just sitting home. So I thought, I have to do something. And sure enough, I was getting coffee at Toast & Company one morning, and who did I run into but Eileen Marriott. And I don't know if you know Eileen, but she is the incredible executive director of Kids Play Children's Museum. Mm-hmm. And we got talking, and we kind of reminisced because 14 years ago, the Brian McCormick, Ken Merce, and I started talking about a children's museum, and this was after Kathy Schmidt, who had moved into the area, had gone to the mayor about the same thing, and Ken and I heard that the Warner Theater was selling the property they owned across the street, and, it might be a store of some kind, whatever. And I had been thinking for a number of years that we needed to do something more for children, in addition to their wonderful education they receive in the school system. And I said, we're going to have a children's museum. And everybody looked at me, and Ken said, what's a children's museum? And I said, well, we'll find out. But in the meantime, Kathy Schmidt and Val Vitalo, I don't know if you remember that wonderful woman. She became involved in a number of other wonderful people. Rose Caponte, I can't even name all of them. Carol Portiero. There were some wonderful, wonderful people. And, of course, Brian and Ken and some friends from Woodruff Lake. And we started meeting regularly and talking. And, I remember chuckling at even how we created the name. we all agreed that the building would be perfect for exhibits for a children's museum, and we didn't even know what the name would be, and that was such a big deal. But, I don't know if you recall, I believe Mayor Carbone was in office at the time, and Rose Ponte was Economic Development Director, and, both did a wonderful job. And they had a Thursday night event, and I know Lynn Gellermino had retired from the Warner Theater, but she was involved too, and they did a great job of having this outdoor fair. And just for the fun of it, Ken came up with a few ideas of something to have in the front part of the former Brooks Bank, which is now, of course, part of the 3 buildings that kids occupy. And that's how it started. And I remember sitting at the doorway thinking that, oh, my goodness, who's going to come in here? Well, people were loving it. Ken created some very imaginative, wonderful exhibits. I think a number of them are still in part of the current museum, which is now 3 buildings. But it just started that way, and it was magic. And you're not going to believe this. It's over 20,000 square feet of interactive exhibits, hands-on for the kids, 60,000 annual visitors approximately a year from 157 towns in Connecticut, all 50 states, and 13 countries.
Wow.
Have visited that phenomenal building.
Now, Joanne, I'm for some reason reminiscing that the Arts and Culture Commission was kind of instrumental in helping you promote this initiative all those years ago with Rose Ponte.
Well, you were, Jacque.
Oh, I was?
No, we...
Toot.
The Arts and Culture Commission really was not a strong part of it in the beginning. No, Jacque, you were a great help, but no,
Toot,
Jacque,
toot.
He's
Tooting his own horn.
No, it's a great story, Joanne, and I think what it does is it kind of encompasses, your legacy in not only Torrington but the whole Northwest corner, because the way you have this kind of way about your work ethic that kind of rubs off on people. It's kind of contagious, and it's like when you engage someone in a project, it's like it's 100% that it's going to work. And I think your intestinal fortitude, your experience, put with your vision, it's just a winning combination, and another example of how you've been able to really help improve the quality of lives in the residents in Torrington and the Northwest corner.
Jacque, you're so kind, but I really think you're forgetting about that there were so many unbelievable people who became involved. I mean, there are it's a wonderful board of directors. Brian McCormick is the chair. Cheryl Flacco is the vice chair. Ken, of course, is very, very involved with some other wonderful people. But it has spread well beyond the area. The Chamber is still involved. The Torrington Cultural Commission District, I'm not sure where they stand, but they've been involved. CBIA has been involved. Steph Burr and the Arts Council have been wonderful. The collaborations that the institution enjoy are wonderful, well beyond the area. And, with Nutmeg, the Warner 5 Point Center for the Arts, incredible collaborations. And I think part of it is that we all believe that together we're going to succeed and make this region an incredible, incredible region. And I think that's what the secret is. There are some incredible, wonderful people who have been part of it from the very beginning. Kathy Schmidt, I mentioned, and Brian, and Cheryl, but Stu Groden, he's been very active. Mary Guilfoyle, I don't know if you recognize some of these names. John Martin, the architect, of course, the McCormick. Elaine Murphy, Pascal Lee James, the O'Neill. ONG was a tremendous corporate partner and sponsor. Just wonderful. Matt Terzian, Karen Ziner. I'm afraid I'm missing people. But
oh, yeah. The list can go on and on, Joanne, I know. And, we're very grateful for everyone who's contributed to the Kids Play Museum and just to helping to add more vitalization to downtown. I think it's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And I think, one of the newer areas that they've created is called the Hub, because that's really strengthening the connections with the community. Mm-hmm. And that's where I kind of fell into this wonderful 12-hour-a-week job.
Oh.
Where I make connections for the museum with community partners and corporate partners. And that has been really fun for me because it's talking to all these people I've met throughout the years and encouraging them to come in and see the museum, because mm-hmm. once they see it, they're just quite amazed because it is so very, very unique.
Yeah.
And unlike anything else, because it really is hands-on as well as tremendously educational and fun. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely fun. And, it fits in with what, I've done in education with the Board of Regents and business with the Chamber and the Workforce Investment Board and the Arts Council. And I just, I met Amy Wynn and I had breakfast this week, and it was just fun to kind of remember all the things that we did together. And it just is, it's a community working together. And I know you both have been in the Kids Play, right?
Oh yes. I'm a member, and my kids love it there. I mean, my older one is now 15, so he's outgrown it. But the little one, we take him there quite often. So.
Well, that's wonderful, and it's interesting because the different entities within the museum, as far as all the different programs, we realize we are. In need of making sure that we include children, not from, 3 months, 4 months, who are in their parents' arms, and 1 and 2 year olds, but to get the school system involved with the library, mm-hmm. and to have a community room for people to use, and a little gift store, and a little area where people can sit and have lunch. But it's so wonderful to have. Someone once said to me, well, what's your favorite exhibit? And it's hard to say because I love them all.
Yeah.
But if you ever want to see a miniature Torrington train station and a train, mm-hmm. and on the tracks, you have to come in and see it.
Yeah.
Or the little house on the prairie, or the different community, a little tea house, a little dental store, a bank, a tree house, amazing tree house, and then I think what people are starting to realize is the area for older children who are probably from 8 years old up, to do some wonderful things in the makerspace area.
Yep.
It's really quite unique, and the plans are enormous for growth and moving above and beyond what we already are. And I have to say it is such a pleasure and honor for me to be involved in this in somewhat small way, because it's truly a highlight and a drawing center, an attractive center to bring people into the area. So we're making sure children happy. I mean, I'm sitting in the library working, making calls and getting new friends, and I'm hearing the pitter-patter of little feet, and sometimes tears, but that's only because the parents have said, okay,
time to leave.
We have to leave in 5 minutes. So, between the physical activities and the literacy, the treehouse is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
The little hub and the family resource center, the town center, on the job, the builders of tomorrow. There's a whole area, where they can build things. The former head of tourism for the state of Connecticut, Anthony was with us a few months ago. He loved that area because there was a steam shovel and a plow, and he was sitting on the equipment trying to make it work. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
So it's just I just appreciate the opportunity to be working with Kids Play, but also to be on your wonderful show.
Joanne, we love having you on, and we're going to have you on again very, very soon. But we have to get ready to welcome our next guest. Jacque, you want to take Joanne out?
Joanne, let's definitely reschedule. Let's reschedule so we can have you back on the show and you can give us an update on Kids Play.
Okay, I'd be happy to. And thank you so much for having me. And I invite all of you who are listening, and of course your wonderful hosts, to come and join us at Kids Play. You'll really be happy. You'll smile.
We definitely smile when you're in the picture, Joanne. So we thank you for everything that you've done for our community.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. Thanks for letting me be on the show.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Joanne.
We'll see you soon.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
My goodness, it's been call after call. We've got another caller on the line.
And it might be Pam Pinto.
You think so? Let's see. Hello, you're on CT Views. Who are we speaking to?
Hi, this is Pam. How are you?
Oh,
Hi,
how did I guess that?
Guess that. I don't know. You're psychic.
Welcome to the show. You've got Coryse and Jacque here.
Wonderful, and thank you for inviting me back.
Well, it's kind of long overdue because I've wanted to have you on previously because you're always in my ear about these pertinent issues that are taking place. And I love, Pam, your sense of commitment and dedication to the cause. And I have to take this personal sentiment to thank you for helping me deal with some pretty serious health issues that I had. And, you counseled me out of the goodness of your heart, and you gave me some real good advice that really helped me to get back on my feet and start assuming my role in the community. So I appreciate you.
Wonderful. I appreciate that you listened.
So, yo, we're on TV now, Pam. Okay, we got Okay, we don't have that much time because we could do this. We could do this for a while, But
All right.
I know you have a very serious issue that you want to bring to our attention, and I'm going to turn the floor over to you now to fill us in on the deets.
Sure. So can you just remind me which pertinent subject that we were going to talk about today?
Well, there were several, but I think the one that you pointed out to me that was very critical was the fact that there were some decisions that were being made on the state level in terms of home schooling issues that you felt needed to be addressed, and amongst the other issues that you brought up with me, that was one that was seemed to be very close to your heart.
Yeah, so it is very close to my heart. Both my children were raised and homeschooled all the way up until they started community college. And there's some disturbing cases that have come out of our area that some of the agencies are trying to scapegoat as homeschooling issues. and that couldn't be farther from the truth, right? So we've had some issues where there were families that were already in the system, but there was no oversight of that system, and then it wound up to be tragedies, right? So because these families went and disenrolled their children to quote-unquote homeschool, they were still in the system, and they still had to have oversight, but somebody dropped the ball. Right. It wasn't because that they took them out to homeschool them. It was because the system didn't follow up. Mm-hmm. So now they're trying to punish all homeschoolers in the state by whatever they're going to introduce. So it isn't pretty, and it's actually looking at one segment of the population and targeting that segment of the population without due process. And so that's not cool, right? So if you're going to take away homeschool rights and parental rights, because ultimately it will be parental rights, without cause, just with what some people in these agencies have a vendetta. They don't want homeschoolers. So they will paint that picture as though the entire homeschool community is not capable and beats their children and starves their children and leaves them in a closet, right? So that's what they're portraying the entire demographic. That is unjust. Mm-hmm. That is discrimination. That is very bad, right? So all to satisfy some people that didn't do their job, they're trying to take down an entire population of parents. It is in our Connecticut Constitution, 10-184, that gives the right of the parent to educate their children the way they see fit. If they decide they don't want to school their children at home, they can then go to public education. But public education is not the first choice of the parent or the Constitution. It falls on the parent to educate their children. It's the duty of the parent, not of the public education system, not of the superintendents, not of the teachers, not of the guidance counselors, none of these agencies. It's not their business. It is the business of the parent, whether they want to do it at home, hire tutors at home. That's their right. That's their constitutional right. So you want to just take it away without due process. It's a witch hunt. So that's my little piece right there. If you have any questions, we'll get to that. Then there are some. Go ahead.
I don't think anyone has any questions, especially after that presentation. But I do feel your cause, though, because the educational system in this country is going through some serious challenges. And I think homeschooling is one of those challenges that can be extremely beneficial in some cases, but we have to balance that in regards to how we educate our children in general. And some kids are going to thrive in that situation, and that needs to be recognized.
Right. And you know, Pam, you can say the same thing about the public education system as well. It's failed a lot of students. Well, there's, I believe not that long ago, there was the story of a girl from Hartford area who made it all the way to college and can't read.
So that's not an isolated issue. That's a common issue. There's, I think, over 80,000 Connecticut students that are truant currently. Truant.
Wow, yeah.
And the number may be more, but they're truant. And yes, they push through, right, because it's not about the child. So I love when I hear no child left behind. No, we're leaving them all behind, right? Equal. We're equal opportunity to fail our children. That's what this is coming. No, you can laugh, but this is the truth. So what did they do during COVID? They said, okay, you can't come to school. Okay, you can't come to school. We're going to stress the living bejesus out of you by staying at home and stressing your parents. And we find that, the parents find that, oh my gosh, I can do this. I'm not sending them back. Life is grand, right? We don't have to worry about the time, getting up early, lunch is set at a certain time, homework that just buries you. My child can learn what they want during the school day at home and thrive. And it's easier on the child. It's directed for what the child's interest is and how they specifically learn. And they can say, oh, well, this was an awakening. We're not going back. So what did the system do? They said, oh, yeah? Okay. So we told you if you don't vaccinate, you can't come back. Okay, we'll take away your religious exemption, which was unconstitutional and unlawful, but who knows how to stop it? We need to learn. So now we took your religious exemption away, so you can't come back, and now you don't want to come back, so we're going to make you come back. We're going to make you enroll. We're going to oversight you. Mm-hmm. Does any of this sound healthy, that it's in the best interest of any child?
No, I think you raised some legitimate concerns, Pam, and unfortunately, our time has kind of gotten to us tonight, but we want to bring you back so we can discuss this issue and some other issues that you brought to my attention that I think that our audience would definitely glean from. So for today, we want to thank you for taking the time out to call in and opening up this very important issue to us. And let's set a time where we can come back and finish the story.
That'd be great. In the meantime, I would love for you to share with everyone to visit NHELD, and they can go online, and that's National Home Educators Legal Defense. That's attorney Deborah Stevenson, and she's been putting out great talking points about this. She's approached our legislators. She's actually filed for FOIAs. She's been denied FOIAs. So it's really important to know that there's people out there trying to educate the public and to present this to our legislators. So that's NHELD, National Home Educators Legal Defense, and it's attorney Deborah Stevenson. And she's done a ton of work. Also, Connecticut Homeschool Network, the founder is Diane Counters, and if you go to their website, it's chn.com, Connecticut Homeschool Network, CT, I don't know, look it up, right? So I can't think of it right now.
We're going to definitely have all this on our website. Unfortunately, we are down to 30 seconds to the end of our show.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pam, and we'll be in touch real soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacque. You guys have a great night.
Thank you.
You too. Thanks, Pam.
And before we close out, we want to take this opportunity to once again thank our sponsors for their support. Want to give a big, huge shout out to Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite Number 1, Torrington, Connecticut. You better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-INS. The Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120 in Torrington. The Chamber is the place to be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105, Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. Now, special programming note, we will not be on air next week. The station will be closed down. My man Doug will be setting up a rerun for you, so make sure that you check that out. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun. Hope you're celebrating Black History Month with some black people, okay?
And happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there.
We'll see you back next week right here for more CT Views on behalf of my beautiful co-host, Coryse Villarouel, Coco. We'll see you back.
Bye now.